going to be doing some neck stretching. So we're going to give you some information first of what we're going to be stretching, where it is, and then hopefully you'll understand how to release it. So we're going to go run through 3 different muscle groups today. So the first one is the sternocleidomastoid. Nice big long name. But the sternocleidomastoid, we're just going to show you here with Tim. The sternocleidomastoid goes from the side of the jaw here, comes all the way down onto the clavicle, which is the bone that runs across the top here, and then comes down and attaches onto the sternum. So it's that bone here in the center of the chest, okay? So it comes all the way from the top here, down onto the clavicle, and then down onto the sternum. All right, that's the sternocleidomastoid. The next set of muscles we're going to be stretching are the scalenes. So the scalenes run from these vertebrae here at the back, okay, so these upper vertebrae here. It again comes all the way down along and attaches onto the upper ribs just in here. Again, these little muscles, when they get tight, they can contribute to the forward head posture. And then lastly, we're going to be stretching the posterior cervicals. So the posterior cervicals, this is just the back of the head here. Posterior cervicals just run all the way along the length of these vertebrae. So from the cervical vertebrae down onto the upper thoracic vertebrae. So they just help to support the back of the neck. And again, if you're stuck at a laptop, if you're stuck at a computer during the day, when your head is being pulled and strained forward by the keyboard, these muscles can become very tight. They can contribute to a lot of problems, as we were saying, from headaches to just plain neck pain. So we're going to run through the stretching sequence now, and if you have any comments, just leave it at the end of the video, or you can contact me via my email address, which is also attached at the end of the video. Okay? The first muscle we're going to stretch is the sternocleidomastoid. So to begin with, you're going to start in a seated position. We're going to place so I'm stretching my left shoulder, so I'm placing my right hand on my left shoulder. You're going to use your index finger and place it along the length of your collarbone, which is this bone that runs along the front of the chest here. So you just put your index finger on the collarbone, just along the length of it. You're going to put pressure down on this bone, because what you're trying to do is pin this bone in order to increase the stretch through the sternocleidomastoid. Okay, so we're going to start by putting the pressure on the bone. Tilt your head back, directly back. And then we're just going to tilt away for a count of 3, so 3 different positions. So we're just going to stretch 1, 2, and 3. So at this stage, you should feel a nice deep stretch along the side of the neck. And once you've reached the position that you're comfortable with, you're going to open and close your mouth 10 times. You're going to do this nice and slowly, because what we're trying to do is, because the muscle attaches into the mastoid process up here, if you open and close your mouth, you're just stretching into those upper fibres. So you're getting a nice deep stretch all the way along the length of the whole muscle there. Very important to do this stretch nice and slow and graded. Just work within your level. It can be really tight, particularly if you work at a computer or particularly a laptop where your head is tilted down all day. This muscle here can just shorten. So it's a great one for just loosening out the neck, taking the pressure off the back of the head and reducing headaches and neck pain. This is the scalene stretch. You're going to start this stretch in a seated position. Contract your abs slightly, just pull yourself into good posture. I'm going to stretch my right scalene first, so the right shoulder. I'm going to extend my right arm down towards the ground, so point the fingertips towards the ground. You're going to make sure that your shoulder is back in a neutral position, that it's not rounded forward, so it's in a neutral position. And then I'm just going to slowly bring my left ear to my left shoulder. You'll begin to feel a nice stretch coming into the side of the neck here. If it's particularly tight, you can even get some nerve referral into the front of the shoulder, and that can even come all the way down into the arm. If this is very uncomfortable for you, just back out of the stretch a little bit, and you can ease into it as you're holding the stretch for the 30 seconds. So you're just going to remain in this position. Relax your breathing, just relax your body. Try and just open out the neck. You're not forcing it over, you're just going to just let the gravity do its work. After the 30 seconds, what's good to do is just place your left hand underneath your head and just slowly bring it back into position, and you can relax and do the same on the opposite side. This is a posterior cervical stretch. So I'm just going to do the stretch to the side so you can see my head positioning. So you're going to do it in a seated position. Pull your abs in just to keep your back straight. You're going to place one finger on your chin. You're going to just use that to help tuck your chin in, so you're tucking your chin backwards. You're going to roll your chin very slowly down into your chest. You'll begin to feel a stretch coming into the back of the neck here. And once you've reached a position you're comfortable with, you hold it here for 30 seconds. So we'll just show you that again. So it's just tuck the chin in and roll down into your chest and hold it here for 30 seconds. So they are the 3 neck stretches. If you complete those stretches, try and do them on a daily basis. You'll definitely notice an improvement in the mobility in your neck, a reduction in pain, and hopefully a reduction in headaches if you're a sufferer. If you have any questions, you can just contact me on the link below.